Hello.
Hello, motherfucker.
Welcome to the Bosses 100 podcast. It's me, Sonny J.
And it's me, Tommy D.
The Bosses 100 podcast. We're kicking off today, and we've got a lot to talk about. Welcome to the first episode. It's been a bit of a long time coming getting this together, but we finally got our shit together, I guess, Tom.
Yeah, man. We've got an organic setup.
Organic. And how are things with you, Tom? How are you feeling today? How do you feel about the fact
Fresh.
that
Yeah, fresh. The blue skies are helping
Good.
this autumnal season creeping in.
Good.
As you were saying, it's that weird weather. You go out with a big parka. 2 hours later, you're sweating your nads off.
Well, I don't know what's going on at the moment, man. I know we've had some good weather, and can't complain, man. We've had a hot summer. But I thought it was getting chilly. It was like the other day, I got up to go drop the kids to school in the morning, and it was freezing. And I didn't wear a jacket. It was freezing. I just thought, look, the sun's out, and it's probably not that cold. But I went out, dropped the kids, and I thought, you know what? When I go back, pick them up, I'm gonna have to take a jacket. And then time to pick them up, wear a jacket. By the time I get there and I start walking, I'm sweating now, and I'm like, man, why'd I wear a jacket? So it's a bit of a thing right now.
If you wear a
man.
jacket, you got to commit as well, man.
Do you believe in this fucking global warming shit? Is this global warming? I mean, is this the shit? Is this is this...
Well, if last summer's anything to go by, bring it on, I say.
yeah, exactly. This is... I heard some shit about, I don't know, we're going to get some fucking...
Beast of the East.
Beast of the East is coming
Part
back,
2.
man. Yeah, this Christmas.
It's like The Godfather. It's worse than the first. It's the second one's a better.
It's like a movie, man. It's just like, the Beast of the East is coming this winter.
Shoot that beast.
Anyway, so, I think straight off the bat, man, did you watch the game last night?
Yeah, what's most of it? Yeah.
The Chelsea Liverpool.
Hazard warning.
Yeah, I mean Liverpool fans. It's another trophy that you're not gonna win this season.
I thought that was their best hope as well.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, yeah, they're doing okay in the league, top of the table. They got maximum points. Man City just behind them, but I just don't think they've.
They've not got the squad to challenge City in the league, I don't think.
You don't think?
No, but they could have won that cup.
I mean, they play some really good football. Look, I hate Liverpool, right? Let's not make any bones about it. I will never support Liverpool in anything as an Evertonian. So, for me,
As a toffee.
But I did think that they had some great chances. I mean, they had some real chances to win the game yesterday. I think Sturridge,
Couldn't finish his dinner.
man, what's going on with that? Yeah, he took it around. He done all the hard part. He went
Did
around
you
the
see
keeper.
Klopp's face as well?
Yeah, no, he was just like
Klopp just looked confused.
But did he even see?
No,
But Klopp, even at the end of the game, man, he just didn't look happy at all.
I think he knows it. I think the biggest sign that he knows that was his best chance is that interview he gave.
Yeah.
That looked a man on the broken.
So they're out. I mean, it's been a couple of days of. A lot of.
Midweek footy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the other thing. I mean, Liverpool aside. I mean, with Man United, man, that was another weird thing. Not dropping Pogba, but taking the captaincy away from him. And then this whole thing about them two having a row. Did you see the video of them having a row?
I thought it was a setup.
Do you reckon? Because the thing is, I mean, Mourinho knew the cameras.
Mourinho.
I mean, he knew the cameras were in, and there was, if you see carefully, there was a bit of a
Zoomed
grin.
in, mate.
There was a bit of a grin on Mourinho's face at times, right? Yeah. So it's like I didn't feel like it didn't feel like this was something
legitimate.
Yeah. And but I listen. At the same time, I actually don't get what's going on. I really don't know what's happening there. I don't know what the situation between Mourinho and Pogba really is. All I do know is that. I mean, I think Pogba's going to go in January. I don't think he's going to stay.
I think
he's pushing for a move to Barcelona.
Yeah. Mino wants his cut as the next big deal, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I swear he's got to be the most greediest agent out there. Yeah. I mean, that guy, he moves a player to a club, and then pretty much the next day he's already plotting another move for the same player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like
he lives on the deals, doesn't he?
I mean, how much money must he have made already? And it's just not enough for the guy, man. He just keeps. I mean, he was the one behind the Ibrahimovic move as well. So
he was. The thing is with Ibrahimovic, he constantly moved.
Yeah,
didn't he?
He did.
He had a career full of like 20 million, 30 million, 40 million moves. He never settled anywhere, and that's probably because of Mino.
So, talking about, though, I mean, it's a big thing, right, in the papers at the moment with United, the way they're playing football. I mean, it's dominating the news. But, see, the way I see it, I can't, I mean, I'm a Mourinho man. I do like Mourinho, okay? I'm not going to get twisted. You know, there's a lot of people on Mourinho's back. But if you look at Man United, right, and I was thinking about this yesterday, and tell me if you agree or not, right? But back in the days when Fergie was looking after the United team, Sir Alex Ferguson, should I say, there was always this thing where whenever he was about to change the team or bring youth in or new talent in, he would make sure that there was always the old guard, someone from the old guard there to pass that experience over to the new youth. You never had a complete change in the team.
No, it was always in transition.
It was always in transition. So, and when those newer players had come in, you know, and they started getting a bit of experience, then they became the old guard. So there was always a spine in that team. And that's what I think helped them win all of those, all of those titles. But I think what's happened now is that since obviously Sir Alex Ferguson left the club, I think that he knew at the time that this is it. You know, the spine of the team is now finished with, and it's now I think he knew himself that team would not be winning the title the following season.
Rio was going to leave, Vidic, Evra.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole thing was coming to an end, and I think then what happened was, Moyes, I think, was very unlucky. I think that guy should have had. Man, he should have had a lot longer.
He was like that guy that walked into, the Western when everyone's left town.
Yeah.
On his horse.
Yeah.
I heard this is a big town. I'm here to boss it. There's no one to boss.
Exactly. But the thing is, I mean, I still think that he should have been given the. I mean, it was a rebuilding phase. You couldn't expect.
Forced him out, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think they were silly. I mean, what? Okay, can I just say what gives Man United fans the right to think that they should be winning the title every season? I mean, they were dominant for so many years.
They're entitled. Entitlement.
But you have a change of era.
Yeah, of course you do. Liverpool had it for 10 years. United had it for arguably 20 years. Chelsea have had a good 5 or 6 years, maybe 10 years now. City for the last few years. It's like City fans in 20 years going, why are we still not battering the league? Well after Sheikh Mansour's left.
Well, this is the thing. So I think
you have to enjoy the cyclical nature of football.
Of course,
competition's good, right? We don't want the Bundesliga where Bayern are completely dominating it for the last 40 years.
Oh, no, this is exactly my point. Is the fact that teams have their time. You have your eras, and now at the moment it looks like it's going to be. City, it looks like they may be dominant now for some years to come.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it may even be Liverpool. Hope not. But you never know. I mean,
down, man.
I mean, it would. I don't know what it is. I just think at the moment Liverpool just don't have that belief, that pedigree to actually go and actually win trophies. I mean, they've had opportunities. I mean, they've been at the final of the Champions League, and they kind of bottled it.
That was bad, man.
Too reliant on one player. They didn't really have a plan B.
Keeper. They just
no keeper.
The window in goal.
Exactly. And then, if Salah goes down injured, what do we do? Everyone starts panicking. So, I don't know. With the whole Liverpool thing, they're looking good at the moment, but man, we've got a long way to go yet this season. So, there's a lot of Liverpool fans I've been listening to. I was on listening to Talk Sport last night, and all these Liverpool fans phoning in. We're gonna win the league this season.
Yeah, don't worry about the cup. We'll win the league.
Yeah,
well, it's not a very good fail-safe policy.
No,
didn't work last year.
Exactly. So, and the other thing now is obviously, it's another big game on Saturday though. Chelsea-Liverpool now in the league match. So, it's.
You'll see different lineups.
Yeah, you're absolutely.
No Sturridge, no party.
No, I mean, exactly. I mean, in the bigger picture, man, I think Saturday is probably more important, I guess, the 3 points. I mean, looking at where Chelsea are in the table at the moment and looking where Liverpool are, I think, those 3 points can make a bit of a difference to how the season may go. But yeah, it's just been a bit of a funny week for football. And then looking at the whole, Derby played a great game. I don't know, did you watch it?
Did you see that free kick?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, it was floating on the ether.
Phenomenal, mate. I mean, that was
weird.
Ronaldo.
I've never seen anything move like that.
Nah, that was
a UFO video, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and he was quite far out as well. And I thought to myself, oh, nah, man, you can't be trying that. You got no sort of right to try it from there. But
if that had been Ronaldo, it would have been given what was that goal tournament, the Puskas Award.
Yeah.
For the best goal in Europe.
Yeah.
If that was Ronaldo, Your
yeah,
pedigree
yeah.
wins you those types of things, right?
Absolutely.
I didn't even know the guy's name. What was his name?
Yeah, I forgot his name as well. But
That proves the point.
But what I'm saying is, though, Lampard, I think, is going to.
Howard?
Yeah, Lampard. I think that guy. And congratulations to Frank Lampard. He just had. Just
another baby.
Yeah, so
It's old, man.
I know, but I think you know what. I really liked him as a player. I thought he's probably one of the ones that. I think, was a really hard-working player, knew his football, loved the game, and even like when he was doing the punditry, man.
He owned that position, didn't he?
He did.
Arriving late in the box and scoring 20.
I think everything he's done, he's tried to own it. Punditry, man, I used to love his punditry. His analysis was just so spot on. And then now in management, I just think he's gonna. I think
classy bloke, yeah.
I think give him 5 to 10 years, man. He might even be one of the elite managers in the world. So anyway, what else? The boxing, right?
Yeah, man, massive. So we got you mean future fights or
future fights? What we
past
saw on the
fights?
weekend. What was your whole thing with the Anthony Joshua?
I just think that the problem is he's fighting a guy that's not even in his size category.
No,
I mean the guy put up a great challenge, but a Russian guy's always going to do that, right?
Yeah,
They're born fighters.
No, I was a bit like the first round I thought shit, man, when he had bleeding nose and he stumbled and stuff, and I was like,
I think it's a Joshua tactic to wait to fight 6 or 7 and then knock them out, wait till they die. He's done that in nearly every big fight he's been in.
Maybe
he did it with Klitschko.
Yeah, but he did, but he also got knocked down.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's a different game. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did get to the 7th round, and I just thought that when he kind of jabbed him a couple of times, and then he went in for the kill, man. I did think to myself, finish him, and that was it. And then he went into this tirade of punches, man. I was just like, nah, there's no.
Stop it, man.
Man, stop this, man. The guy nearly fell out the ring, man. It was just like, nah.
The size difference paid, didn't it?
But that guy's never been. Povetkin's never been down.
No,
never been. No, he's never been down, man.
No.
I mean, so I mean that. But then again, right? The dude is like 39 years old as well.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, like if this
he
was
waited
like,
for him to tire because he was an old guy, and then he used his weapons.
But do you think Joshua?
I think it's a tactic.
But do you think like if Joshua had fought a Povetkin maybe 4 years earlier? I mean, if Povetkin fought him, say, I don't know, when he was more in his prime, sort of 35. See, I don't know. I just feel there's this vulnerability about Joshua, right? I'm saying, look, he's
nice.
He's a great fighter. Yeah, but maybe that's
not a bad boy, is he?
No, but that may be part of his makeup. That may be there to kind of make us all believe that he's vulnerable, and they and that may all be him just playing that game. But I don't know. There is this vulnerability that I do see in him that I think I don't know. I
think it's because he's slow. When you get him into 6 and
he's
7,
very straight and stiff, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very sort of upright, very stiff, and very sort of he's not very.
It's like a game,
mobile.
isn't it? Like the early PlayStation guys.
Yeah,
you have in boxing games.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's more of a thing of I need to see the Wilder match. I need to see the Wilder bout. I need to see that because I think that really is the fight that everyone wants to see. But what about the Fury? Are you looking forward to that one? First of the.
I think Fury will beat Wilder. From what I've seen of Wilder, he throws too many haymakers. He'll get caught.
Fury will beat Wilder.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it, man. I just think that he'll go in with haymaker combos, and then Fury will catch him with an uppercut. Done.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going.
You
with Wilder.
going Wilder?
I'm going with Wilder only because I just think.
I heard you were a Wilder.
Well, I think that Wilder is.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
but he lacks technique.
He's really unorthodox as well. You don't know where his next punch is coming from, man. Yeah. He just swings them wildly.
He's a bit of a heel, isn't he?
Yeah, I just think that's the thing. And the other thing about Tyson Fury, maybe a couple of years ago, a few years ago when he fought Klitschko, at that time maybe I probably would have given Fury a better chance. I just don't think Fury's fit enough. I don't think he's had enough in-ring action.
No.
And I think. That's the thing.
He spent all his camps not preparing his technique, but just losing weight. He's not actually done any. But apparently, according to Eddie, what's the dude's name? Eddie Hearn. He spent all of his time in his training actually just trying to modify his weight as opposed to actually improve himself.
Yeah.
So he's going to go into that Wilder fight with no real boxing pedigree. He'll just literally be a guy with a weird physique. He's got like a Mr. Man physique, isn't he? Now, like those long legs, but that short body, man.
It does look
those
long
long
weird,
arms.
He does look weird.
Bizarre.
But I don't know. I mean, Eddie's saying that even if Fury wins the fight, that the likelihood is that Joshua will still want to fight Wilder.
Because it's the money train, man.
Yeah, I know, but I get that. But it's about unifying all the belts, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Fury's then got the belt, that fight's got to happen at some point. So I don't know. I would just want to see a straight up the winner of this fight fights Joshua next year. I don't know. I think that the shine will have been taken off Wilder if he loses this.
Yeah.
And I think that if Fury's beating him, then we'll feel
you don't deserve a Joshua fight.
Yeah, we'll feel like Joshua will do him. We'll just feel like Joshua will do him. Now, if Wilder wins, then you know what? That fight will be big next year. I think even one of the biggest fights that will be of all time.
I think if either guy wins, it's going to be massive going into that Joshua fight, isn't it?
I don't know. I think Fury's time's up. I'm honestly thinking that because I think with Fury, he's come back for.
He's only like 30 as well, man.
Yeah, it's not even that. I just don't think. I don't think he's got. I think he's come back for the money. I don't think he's really got any appetite. I mean, he keeps going on about he's the lineal champion and all this, that, and the other. And I think he's done that now, right?
Get off the weights, Joshua.
He's putting these Instagram posts and he's doing all of this, that, and the other, man. But I do think, I think he's. I don't know, man. I think he's past his best. I don't know. I don't know what his intentions are coming back to the sport. I think it's more to get a couple of paydays. I don't think he's really that fast. I may be wrong. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it pans out. I just haven't seen enough of Fury since he's come back to actually sit here and say, you know what, this guy is the real deal now.
It does worry me when Eddie Hearn's bigging this era up as being, loads of great fighters. Then you get someone like a Joseph Parker who was bigged up a lot and he really didn't back it up.
No.
So I do worry a little bit that this era is being over-promoted.
Do you know what it is with Joseph Parker, man? I think he is actually a good fighter. I think the problem with Joseph Parker is he doesn't let them fly early enough in the fight.
Yeah.
I think he's too conservative, right? Like when he fought Dillian White, what he was doing in the final, if that fight had gone on another couple of rounds, right?
Round.
Maybe even another round, right? I could have seen
Joseph taking it.
Yeah, I could have seen Parker taking that. Yeah, I think that was the thing with him, and I think even with Anthony Joshua, I think. It was just too conservative. That
was a boring ass fight.
That was really boring. But the thing is, I think the referee was to blame for a lot of that because he just didn't let Parker go in the inside, and he kept breaking him up every time he was trying to get in the inside. And that's the way Parker fights. When you got a bigger man, you got to get
Tyson,
you got to get in the inside. And referee was just kind of, I don't know, man. I
spoil the fun, doesn't he?
I haven't seen Parker do anything incredible in the last couple of fights, but at the same time, I don't think that he's that bad also. I just think that he just hasn't put a good account of himself. I think he's got the potential to be better. It's like Dillian White.
It's just your solid challenger fighter, isn't he?
Yeah. It's like
a solid challenger
He is.
fighter.
I mean, look at Dillian White. I think he's come on leaps and bounds over the last couple of years. But again, he's got now he's at that level again where he's going to be fighting the Anthony Joshuas possibly. He's fighting Chisora possibly now.
Yeah, I'll do him. I think. He'll do Chisora.
Yeah, he'll do. He's done him once, right?
Yeah,
so I think Dillian White's now getting back to that status again. But the thing is now he's got to kind of take it that one step further and start winning those types of fights.
How'd you beat Joshua? Do you think is he beatable?
I think he is. I absolutely think he's beatable, right? I think, yes, he's achieved a lot in a small amount of fights that he's had. Total fights. How many fights? 22 or something? Yeah, something silly like that. And he's achieved a lot. And I think the way that Eddie Hearn's managed him and just kind of planned out his whole career so far, I think it's been, credit to Eddie Hearn. But at the same time, I mean, I think. There were, in the earlier fights, he used to knock people out in the first or second round.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what I've seen is now the fights are starting to get longer. Some of them have gone 2 points, or he's knocking them out in later rounds, not as opposed to, earlier rounds. So, I don't know. I think that if Wilder was to fight Joshua, my money will be on Wilder. I think Wilder will win. I really do think Wilder will win. Yeah, we'll have to see.
You
heard it here first. But you look at Wilder though. He's had like 39 fights or something.
It's an unknown quantity. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he's had zero. He's got 0 losses. And he's had 39 fights.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And Joshua's still got.
The one thing that worries me is that the Americans don't have any good heavyweights. So I do wonder whether they're just bigging Wilder up for the sake of it, or whether they genuinely have some depth there.
I don't even think they're bigging Wilder up, mate. I just don't think that. No, I don't even.
Is
think
Eddie big in the
No,
mud?
no. I think in the US, I think people aren't even aware of Wilder. There's people that aren't even aware of Wilder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think because of the fact that the heavyweight division in the US has been so not competitive for the last so many years because there's not been many heavyweights. I just think people are not watching that, watching the heavyweight division with the same sort of interest as say
Canelo and GGG in that division. Yeah.
Going on the Canelo GGG. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Change of direction.
What was your take on that fight?
I thought GGG snuck it. Honestly.
See, I absolutely think he snuck it, right? I think he absolutely snuck it the first time. Now, what really is, I think, what annoyed me about the whole thing was, if ever there was going to be a draw, this was the fight to call it the draw.
Man.
Yeah,
I would
have been happy with that. Now, the fact that they didn't give the first fight to Triple G, man, I still can't believe that lady judge that scored it like 180. I mean, what the hell was she on, right? But for me, I think they should have called this fight a draw, and then the third one then would have been even the one that would be the decider. But I can see the thing is I can't sit here and say he was robbed. I did think that first. I was like sending messages and like he's been robbed again. But then I can't really say that because the fight was quite close and it really depends on how you see it. I mean, if you're looking at Triple G more in the fight, if you're see the thing with fighters is when you're watching it and you're watching the way they score the punches, it all depends who you're looking at.
Yeah.
Now, if you want Triple G to win, you're naturally going to be looking at Triple G.
Him,
yeah. And the thing is, I was just looking at Triple G most of the fight and looking at what he was doing more than what Canelo was doing. But then if you're looking at Canelo, man, he has some good power punches in that bout. So you can't really say, you can't really complain about that. But I would have thought, a draw probably would have been the fact that Triple G did get robbed the first time round. If it was that close this time, then I think they should have just called this one a draw.
Yeah.
But
I think the problem is if Triple G wins it, then it doesn't go 3.
No,
I think it will still go 3 now.
It will go 3.
Yeah.
It will go 3. Absolutely.
So if Triple G won the first one, it doesn't go 2. If he wins the second one, it doesn't go 3. But now Canelo's won this one, they'll have a final.
Well, the other
final encounter.
That. But the other thing also is that the third one is is I don't know whether Triple G is going to be any better than what he is now.
Well, his age is against him now, isn't it?
No, exactly. So I think, so I just think that the age is he's aging more. So I'm not sure whether he's going to get any better. And Canelo could be getting better for the next fight. So I don't know. It's a tough one. And then there's this whole thing with Pacquiao and Mayweather fighting again.
Oh, it's tiring, man.
And in my mind, I do not want to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want 2-1, guys.
I do not want to see
the
that.
last fight was so wooden.
Yeah, and I can't be sitting here waiting for seeing so the guys just getting paid ridiculous money again, because the chances are, look, when the fight's on the day, you'll be like, oh, Mayweather Pacquiao,
I'm gonna watch it.
You know what? And then all of a sudden you go into the
that.
box office and you before you know it, you're like you're spending 20 quid on it,
and before, trying to stay awake till 4.
Exactly.
Laced to the nines with Jack and Coke. Yeah, it's not happening, man.
And
put it to bed, guys. It's over, Floyd.
So last thing on the whole boxing thing, right?
Warrington
before we move
and
on.
Framps.
Yeah, what's your take on that?
I think Warrington wins it from what I saw. Selby Warrington.
I think so too. I think you're right.
He's just.
When is that?
He looks so clean. He barely been hit.
When's that fight?
Is it this weekend? They had the weigh-in yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had the press conference in Leeds yesterday got a bit spicy, and then now it's over in Belfast for Frampton's crew.
Man, there's a lot of boxing right now.
I know.
Man, there's a lot of boxing.
Eddie's making money hand over fist.
It's just,
excuse the pun.
Yeah, man. What is going on, man? Where are all these fights going? And did you watch the Amir Khan fight a couple of weeks ago against?
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I thought Khan's interview was bullshit at the end, saying that he could have done him, but he wanted the practice. Well, why don't you do that behind closed doors, mate?
I thought the funny.
There's 30,000 people sat there.
But the other
lock him out, man.
And I think the funny thing was that he was going on about Pacquiao not wanting to fight Kell Brook, and that he wanted to fight Pacquiao, and then 2 days later, Pacquiao Mayweather comes out and announces, now it's me and Pacquiao. So
that's it. If the problem Khan's got is that he knows that the minute he comes out and fights someone good, his jaw's going to let him down. Look, I just don't... That guy just didn't have the power to hit him. If the guy had the power, he'd have knocked him out properly.
I just don't rate him. I've never rated him. I'm sorry.
I rate his technique.
Look,
looks good.
all he is, right, he's a speedy dude.
It's a show fight.
No, he's a speedy, look, he's a speedy dude. He gets in the ring.
Have you seen Ong Bak, that movie, that really quick guy?
yeah.
It's that guy, innit?
It's that guy, right? It's that guy. So he's just really sort of, that's what it is. He just comes in all like, well, bam, 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 and he looks the part for the first couple of rounds, and then before you know it,
dust settles.
And the thing is, he fights so open, right?
Yeah.
He's got no defense.
Well,
and
Danny Garcia just proved that the guy was as open as a fucking.
This is what I mean.
As a farmer's field, mate.
This is what I mean. And all it takes is, one clock to the chin, and that's it. He's down. So, man, if I was Amir Khan, right, I'd fight Kell Brook. Right, get that fight done, because you know what, everyone wants to see that fight, and I'm
gonna make your hands down.
Yeah. Kell Brook, he would beat him, right? I've got no question about that. And then I think then Amir Khan, look, I don't know, do another reality thing. I don't know, go on Britain's Got, I don't know, go and do the jungle again, but give up boxing.
Go on, Mastermind.
He's had too many defeats. I think the guy's had too many defeats in his career now anyway to be taken seriously. So I just think, man, he just needs to give it up. So anyway, that's the last piece on the boxing. What else has been going? Man, the other thing, man, there's a lot been going on in the world of hip hop at the moment.
Yeah, hip into the hop.
Man, I don't know if you see the whole Kanye West. I mean, it looked like he was trying to fire some shots, but it just didn't come off well, man. I saw that Instagram post of him walking below a train track.
The minute you call out that you're on medication, you kind of lose.
Why? I mean, why?
You lose the tonight. If I wasn't on medication,
no, but
it's like me saying if I wasn't 80 kilograms, I would knock Anthony-Joshua out, right?
It's like he came out. First thing he said, I've come back from this sunken place, and and all of this, that, and the other. I'm just like, why do you need to tell us all of this, right?
Yeah, fucking multi-millionaire.
We don't need to hear that. And then he starts to go in and starts attacking, Nick Cannon, Drake, and whatever, talking about, you can't speak about my woman, Kim Kardashian, keep her name out your mouth, and blah, blah, blah.
Not just
but
his name.
Yeah, not just the name out your mouth. But what I'm saying is, though, come on, Kanye, man. You married this woman knowing that there's a sex tape out there on the internet, right? So I was, you know what?
And this is a family that whores itself out for every bit of publicity, and you join that family, right?
Listen, so let me tell you a story. So even before Kanye put this whole thing out, right? So I was speaking to one of my friends the other week, right? So we were just having a bit of banter on the phone, and he was telling me that, his wife's out, the kids are out. I said, so what you be doing
Kim's
tonight?
in.
He's like, man, he goes, I'm feeling a bit nostalgic tonight. I might put that whole Ray J and Kim thing on, right? Man. I was like, man, you're going back some years. But the thing is, that video is so accessible. Do you know what I mean? It's there on the net right now. So when Kanye was marrying her, there's probably about millions and millions of people out there still jacking off to that video, right? So why when you know that, right? First of all, if you're gonna have a problem with that, right, with people talking about your wife,
career's built on that fucking platform.
Exactly. So you know what? You've got to just accept it, and if anything, endorse it. And stop moaning about it or complaining about
Rap
it
to
because
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Your next video.
Yeah, give us some bars, man. Don't start talking about how people can't talk about your wife and this, that, and the other. I'm sorry, man. It's just like if she was someone who's not been in the limelight,
high school sweetheart.
I'm sorry though, the whole Kardashians, right? I'm sick and tired of them. And the other thing as well, they just end. It looks like anyone they get, anyone that Kim's been involved in, actually even the other one, Chloe, they just end people's careers as soon as they get involved with them, right?
You lose that credibility, don't you?
Exactly. It's just like Lamar, that basketball player, man. He went through some shit after being with Chloe. It's just, it's just one. The other dude as well, the one that she was married to before Kanye, the other basketball player. I've forgotten his name.
The guy from Minnesota.
Yeah,
the white guy.
Name. Yeah,
he fucking had no personality. He was like a toothbrush, mate.
Well, yeah,
he probably went well in that.
Do you know what I mean? I'd understand what she saw in him. But there we go. But what I'm saying is, all the guys that these people have been involved with. I mean, fuck it. Start from the top. Look at Kris Kardashian, Kris Jenner, whatever. Look
Bruce went to be a woman.
What the? Exactly. Look what she did to him.
Yeah,
that dude just gave up. He's like, you know what? I'm just not even going to be a man anymore. I'm just going to turn into a woman, man. You know, so, you know, he went from fucking Bruce to Caitlyn.
Yeah,
so I'm saying any guy that these women get involved, and Kanye was okay, man, before Kim.
Oh, mate.
Kanye was
Okay.
cool.
His
Kanye,
fucking music was epic.
it was cool, man. He was the man, you know. And I think as soon as he got with Kim, that's when that downward spiral started, man. And he just started getting, I don't know, he just
They
started
wanted to
getting
be a
worse.
fashion designer.
He just, I don't know what he wanted to do. I don't even know what he wants to do now, man. I was still unclear. His music's garbage. His clothes are garbage.
Well, that last album was fucking weak, man.
I mean, the album's garbage. And I just think, look, you know, and his comments are garbage. I mean, the whole thing he said about, you know, slavery and all of this. He's ruining his own career. And rather than like shutting the fuck up and going back home and just chilling the fuck out for the next few months, sit this one out, Kanye.
Apparently he's moved back to the show as well, yeah.
Yeah, and he's coming back out with this shit. And, man, I just, you know what? That doesn't sit well with my spirit, what he's doing right now. Okay? And I think he just needs to...
Well, he definitely doesn't need to keep taking the bait all the time.
Nah, I don't think he
Be
does.
the bigger man.
Be the bigger man. And listen, I've seen the Nick Cannon interview, and the whole Drake thing. He's
Shots fired from the cannon.
So yeah, I mean, so what he's saying is, you know, that tune, Catch My Feelings, whatever it is. You know, he says, "Kiki, do you love me?" So Kiki apparently. No one.
It's not Kiki D from
no.
John fame.
No. So
because that is going grandma.
No. So check this. No, so check this, right? So no one even knew this, right, until Kanye himself has brought this out. So apparently Kim told Kanye that Kiki's my nickname. Apparently it's a nickname. Like people close to her in her family call her Kiki.
He didn't even know that.
Well, I don't know.
Fucking
No,
hell.
Kanye probably knew that. What I'm saying is he knew that. But the world didn't know that, right?
Yeah.
And we don't even know Drake was actually meaning anything by it. You know, whether he was kind of taking a shot at them or whatever. But now that he's now brought this out, that, you know, don't mention my girl's name in your song and blah, blah, blah. It's like he's raised that speculation even more, that Drake's talking about your woman, right?
It's self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. So that whole thing just didn't... I don't know, man.
Drake's not been there anyway. I don't think he'd go that low.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot been going on with Drake and Kanye. I think there's a whole... I mean, they said...
Pusha T thing.
There's a beat that, you know, he wanted that Kanye didn't give him, and there's a lot going on, and no one really knows the truth. Everyone's just coming out speculating, and you know what? The people involved, they should just come out, like Kanye, Drake, whatever the beef is, man. Just be real. Just tell everyone what the real beef's about, rather than going back and forth using Pusha, using all
Probably
of this.
too pathetic to even...
That's probably what it is.
They don't want to say it. 'Cause it's too stupid.
It probably is really pathetic. But anyway, the grown men, Kanye, you just need to calm down, man. Don't get so sensitive. Look who you're married to. Look at her history.
And release some good tunes, man. Fuck.
Yeah. No.
We've not had anything since,
but I just don't think he's...
Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Listen, man, if you're married to the Kardashians, what the fuck is going to inspire you to make good music?
Yeah.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I want to speak more on that. I think enough said on that. But moving on to... So this whole Eminem thing, and it's kind of simmered down a little bit. I haven't heard a lot in the last few days, but obviously everyone knows that the whole, you know, Eminem dissed Machine Gun Kelly from a tweet that Machine Gun Kelly put out so many years ago. Then Machine Gun Kelly came back, dissed him. Eminem then came back with another response with Kill Shot. What did you think anyway? I mean, who do you think had the better diss? I mean,
Eminem killed him. That's my opinion.
For me, man, I thought Kill Shot was just straight there. I mean, I think what it is, you know, with Eminem, right? You got to listen to his tunes like about 5 or 6 times to really get everything he's saying.
Yeah.
Now that Kamikaze album, I had a first listen to it, and I thought,
some good stuff.
I thought it was okay. Yeah, it was good. I thought, you know what, probably won't be going down as one of my classics. But then, like a week later, I put it on again, and it sounded better. Right, and there was stuff that there was stuff that I missed the first listen.
You did that with Kanye stuff as well back in the day.
There's, you know, like Joe Budden says Eminem ain't got no content, man. I think there's so much content that you don't even get, you can't even get your head around it over the first listen. So I've listened to that album now 3-4 times, and each time I listen to it, I hear something new, something else that he's speaking about that, you know, I didn't hear the first time around. So I like the album. I like the diss on Kill Shot.
I like the nod to Beastie Boys.
I like the nod to Beastie Boys, even though Beastie Boys have come out and said that Eminem didn't consult him about it.
Nah, it's not cool, man.
Yeah, but
I'd say it's a compliment, right?
I would say so. I mean, Eminem's being quite open to say that he's been a big fan of the Beastie Boys. So I think the whole thing's died down. MGK is now saying he's not going to respond anyway. But I think the funniest thing out of the whole thing is obviously the Eminem line with P Diddy now. So bringing that up.
Did it?
But I absolutely believe that he wasn't trying to say that P Diddy put a hit out on Tupac. I think what he was trying to say is that MGK, you're so shit that the day that you would have a hit is the day that Diddy would admit that he put a hit out on Tupac, meaning that you'll never fucking gonna fucking happen, right?
It ain't true.
Exactly. So anyway, I think that whole thing's now simmered down a little bit, and there's not really much going on.
Did you see MGK on the Breakfast Club?
Yes.
What did you think to him talking about his sold 20 million albums? To who,
Man,
man?
I don't know. I have no idea.
20 million?
Who's listening
Who
to them.
fuckers bought them?
I don't know who is listening to
Or
those
listen to
albums.
And then he was like, I've made 10 movies. Name
Yeah.
one. Name one.
You know what? So
I think that guy's
I was watching that.
weak, mate. To be
No,
fair.
I was watching that interview with my wife, and my wife was like, "What fucking films has he been in that we
Exactly.
haven't seen?" So
That we want to see.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So I don't know. I didn't even know much about Machine Gun Kelly until this whole thing started up. Anyway,
He's bigger in the States, right?
Exactly. And the thing is with Eminem, I can understand the interview. So here's the thing that don't sit right with me about the whole Eminem. Did you watch the Eminem Sway interview?
Yeah.
Why couldn't Eminem go out to another independent radio station or whatever and have that interview done? Why did he have to use his own Shade 45 Sway?
Edited.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, you can tell the whole thing was scripted. Eminem knew the questions he was going to be asked. They kind of sat down and said, look, we'll stay away from this. We'll answer the question like this and whatever. My whole thing is, I know Eminem don't do interviews, but at least...
He did that Zane Lowe one, right? Back in the day.
Yeah, he did, but he don't do a lot, right? I mean, one of the best interviews I ever heard was when he came down on the Westwood show, Tim Westwood here in the UK.
Yeah.
Ah, man, and he spit some freestyle. Well, that was years ago. That's when he was in the first few
One
years.
for the kids.
Exactly.
Here's Tim Westwood.
Yeah, but now, I mean, it was like, if you're going to do this whole interview, man, go somewhere, let someone else interview you. Don't use your own station. Don't use your own, Sway, who's working for you on Shade 45. So
It stinks as some legend bathing in his own glory, right?
that's what I mean.
He's just polished, he's marketed, he's managed.
That's what I mean.
That's hip hop's not about that anymore, right? Well, it never was.
No.
You should be a bit more.
Look, in my mind, I can understand why Eminem has his grievances. I can understand why he's saying what he's saying. I mean, look, if you look at hip hop today, I mean, when I go in the car, I'm still listening to stuff, man, from like the 90s, man. I was listening to The Chronic, Dr. Dre's Chronic the other day. I was listening to Doggy Style, man. I was listening to, I listen to all the old school stuff. I very rarely, I'm not listening to anything right now. I mean,
I heard
anything that's
the last Push one was cool.
Oh yeah,
Fucking-
Daytona.
yeah,
Daytona. I mean, that was a great album. But
I like the what's the other dude? Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
They did
Yeah.
a good Astro World. Was it?
yeah.
it was a good
I mean, there's a couple.
There's little golden nuggets.
There's
Like
a little-
Kendrick. So.
Exactly. There's golden. I mean, J. Cole, Kendrick. For me, they're the ones right now. But there's nothing else. I mean, there is a lot of mumble rap. I mean, I'm not a big Future fan. I mean, not
I'm
into
not a
all
big
of that.
Future,
It's not my thing. So I can understand. I mean, if you're someone from the old school, like I'm 37, so I appreciate music from a generation where you had the Dre's, you had the G-Funk era, you had the Warren G's, and where this whole thing was birthing, I guess.
And there was like in them days as well. There was a definite sound to each
Yeah.
label and different sound to each coast.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of a bit of a blur, right?
It's just
The whole thing's quite confusing to follow.
it is, and it's just I don't know. I just don't think the young rappers have the pedigree right now of the rappers of the old. So
Kendrick's there though, I think.
yeah, Kendrick is. I
Does his
mean,
own
like I
thing
said,
as
I
well.
mean,
Doesn't get involved in all
but
this stuff.
Kendrick and J. Cole, they're not young dudes, They're in
No,
the 30s. They're in the
30s,
30s, man.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you can say that they're the.
Where's the youth team, guys?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear about Lil this and Lil that. I want to just hear,
Do you not think the next rappers will be more like Drake though than them guys? Because having like the harmonies is the way it's gone. Being able to harmonise and
Listen, I don't mind
sing as well
Listen,
as
I don't mind Drake, right? I think you know, there's something to like about Drake's music. That, you know, it's good in the clubs and all that kind of stuff. And he does, you know,
he puts it out often, which is cool, man.
He does put it out often.
He's not sat there like.
But I don't know. He's missing this. I don't know what it is. He's just missing that something that doesn't put him in the leagues of the, you know, the Eminems, the
early
Jay-Z's and the Nas's. You know, he'll never go down as one of the greatest
rappers.
MCs. Yeah, MCs. You know,
Probably one of the greatest R&B stars.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, you know, look. Don't get me wrong, man, because I think we're not bigging him up as much as we should. Because
he's amazing.
He's amazing. I mean, he's in a league of his own right now. I don't think there's anyone like Drake. That's the thing. I think he's in his own sort of a bubble, and what he's doing with his career is just, you know, that's his thing, right? There's no one else really doing it quite like Drake.
And his sound is unique,
his production, his sound. I mean, even his shows. You go to a Drake show, it's just, you know, it's amazing, you know. And he's kind of got that Michael Jackson type production value, you know, where you know when you're going to a Drake show, you're going to get that type of production. So I think that total package, I think Drake's probably one of the ones that kind of sets himself, you know, in a different league to everyone else. But yeah, no, he won't go down as the greatest MCs. No way. Not in my opinion.
And again, he's 31 maybe. So this is again, he's been around, right?
He has. He's been around for a while. He's been nearly 10 years, 11 years nearly coming up to, man. Drake's been around.
Yeah.
So you know, he's been here a while. He's becoming a bit of a veteran. But yeah, So anything else? I mean, what else have I heard in the whole? I mean, the Joe Budden. I mean, the whole Joe Budden thing, though. Going back to the whole Eminem thing. Yeah, I think Joe Budden needs to come back and spit some bars if he wants to respond to Eminem. I think he said a lot on his podcast, and I think I get where Joe Budden's coming from when you kind of look at the history. But I think Joe, come back with some bars.
Yeah, but the thing is with Joe Budden as well, if he was good enough to be a star, he didn't have to be a star on that label. Yeah, that label didn't work out for him and his crew.
Yeah.
Why was he not a star somewhere else, right?
I think what it was, I think it was the last sort of look, the geezer's 37, 38.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want any fresh blood man.
I think what it was, they were coming to a point in their career where this was going to be it. Either it was going to happen in Slaughterhouse and they were going to do it, or it wasn't going to happen.
Or it was going to get slaughtered in the house.
Yeah, it was going to get slaughtered in the house, man. And I think that's what happened. But I think, you know, there's no point. There's no point firing shots, you know, on the podcast. I think, you know, Joe Budden, he is a rapper. He is a really good MC. And, you know, I think that, you know, Eminem spit some bars and, you know, Joe should come back and spit some bars.
Yeah, get involved, man.
You know, I think, you know, it's easy to sit on a podcast and kind of talk about stuff. I mean, we're doing it right now. We're doing it right now, you know. It just doesn't...
I've got no bars, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no... Yeah, exactly. But if I had bars, man, I'll be
Yeah, just 1 minute on his podcast, someone playing like a beat.
Come on, man, Joe.
Come on, just give us a minute, Joe.
Just give us some bars, man, please. Come on. Just some bars.
Big Joe.
So, yeah, so I think...
I love the way he got responded to by that guy from D12, though.
Oh, Bizarre. Oh, yeah. Big up, man. Big up, Bizarre. Big up, Bizarre.
With his herbs out, so to speak.
It was, I heard that and I thought to myself, Bizarre, first of all, what's your place in all of this?
Yeah.
Like, why are you even getting involved? Like, no one's even...
to get back on the,
it's like,
the horse.
That's the thing, right? It's like, no one's even really mentioning you, Bizarre. And he's like sitting there coming out with this tune. And I think he's just trying to involve himself, just trying to be relevant now, right? And he's like, maybe I can make a few bucks out of this. But you know what? Good on you, Bizarre. It was, you know,
it was comedy.
It was a funny track. I mean, you know, there was still some funny moments.
Did he still have the pills in hand as well?
Yeah, he did.
Purple pills.
He did.
Oh my god,
he did. So yeah, I did see that, man. I did laugh. So yeah.
But I think that all of this is good for hip hop though, because it's had its day in regard to back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. So coming down to the last 15 minutes of the show, Tommy D.
Yes.
So tell me something, man. Now that we're kind of in the last segment of the show, what's bothering you right now out there?
Well, one thing I did turn on the TV the other day, and I was just browsing through the channels of sport as you do. No football on. I thought, I'll have a look at that. It's a little bit of SmackDown, WWE.
Yeah.
Oh my!
By the way, everyone, Tom and I, we are WWE fans,
yeah,
right?
massive.
And
WCW when it was going in the Attitude Era.
But you know, I haven't really kept in touch with what's going on right now.
It's hard. It's really hard. Basically, what was happening was there was a guy sat in the ring being controlled by another guy outside the ring. So pure acting. The guy's pretending to be like mysteriously being controlled by this dude outside the ring. So he's just walking. He's like shaking and walking all over the ring.
So hold on, this is WWE, right?
Yeah, man.
SmackDown.
Oh, mate, it's so fucking weak.
Man, you know,
It never happened back in the day.
So this is the thing, right? So I've been watching. See, the thing is, my wife, she watches the what's it called, the Total Divas and the Total Bellas. They got so many of these other shows, sub brands of their core product. And I just don't think that they're putting enough effort in their core product, which is wrestling, right? And anytime I've watched it, I just don't feel that they've got the they ain't got the superstars, man. They just haven't got the right superstars to kind of. I don't know what it is. Whether it's a lack of competition, where, you know, back in like the Attitude Era when you had WCW and you had WWE going back and forth, and it really made for good shows to watch and entertaining.
But I just think that the production value is so good. It doesn't look. It looks almost too good for its own good.
Yeah.
Like it should be like, you know, when they removed all the blood and they removed all like those strip matches and all that stuff. All right, yeah, it's a bit seedy, but at the end of the day, it was quite X-rated viewing, right? And it felt like you were involved in something that was a little bit naughty. Now it's so.
But
fucking,
but the problem is,
they might as well be wearing plasters.
Yeah, but I think that goes down to the fact of who are they aiming the show at.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
You know, if they're aiming it to you and I, then yeah, I mean that's what we'd like to see. But if they're not now aiming the product towards us, and they're aiming it towards, I don't know, a younger audience, say, I don't know, 10, 11-year-olds.
Well, I was 10 and 11 when I was watching this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, but we were watching it, but, you know, maybe we shouldn't have been watching it, but we were watching it during the Attitude Era. I mean, well, you must have been.
I was young, man.
I was still sort of, I'd left school.
I was a young thug.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you know, there's just nothing in the product right now that makes me want to switch it on. And the thing is, I'm sick and tired. Man, I'm sick and tired of retired wrestlers, and it's always the same ones that have a real good relationship with WWE that tend to come back and make an appearance at an event. Like
Triple H.
Yeah, he
pretty much runs it.
And then you get Shawn Michaels, man, that just turns up.
That was the other thing I was going to say, actually. Michaels was back the other week.
Doing
with the
what?
cowboy hat on.
No, man. You know how many times...
God knows. How many times can you bring back the fucking Pope, man?
Yeah, and The Undertaker. I mean, the amount of times they keep bringing that dude back, and he just looks like he needs a good old rest right now and just go to bed. You know
Put
what I mean?
Put him out to stud.
Yeah, they just leave the dude alone. But I think that's the problem they have. I think they need to...
They're caught between audiences,
yeah,
aren't they?
They need to bring some of those names back because the product just isn't working as well as they like. Now, this whole thing with...
They had a big push on Roman Reigns, but I don't think it worked.
No one wanted that. You know what? I was actually watching it a bit when they were trying to push him, right? You know what it is? It's weird, right? It's like either you connect with a character or you don't, regardless of how you build them up internally in the product, right? If the audience don't get it or they just don't connect with it,
or they cheer when they should boo, or boo when they should cheer.
But I think sometimes now it's quite obvious when they're trying to push someone in your face. Whereas before, I think before it was so grey. There was no sort of good guy or a bad guy as such, and there were so many grey areas that people just cheered for who they wanted to cheer for, and that then determined the star power that they had. Whereas now it seems as it's really forced. They're trying to force characters. They're trying to force them onto the general audience to get behind them. And I just don't think it works.
No, I think, and I think that the problem is as well, like you say, that the stars that they're forcing aren't up to it.
No.
Like Stone Cold, he used to come in like a fucking whirlwind, you know?
Yeah.
Smashing beers, just that
The whole thing, man, it was incredible to watch. I mean, The Rock, I just think that we were quite spoiled back then. I think, you know, we were lucky enough that you had the likes of Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, Chris Jericho. I mean, come on, man.
Great factions.
Generation
X, the Nation of Domination.
You even had Bret Hart in the mix for a while there as well. So
great crossovers,
It was I think we were really spoiled.
I
think there was just a lot of talent at that time. And then, you know, in the midst you had The Undertaker as well. I mean, all of them were there back then.
It was probably the best gimmick of all time.
Yeah,
well, he
quite
lasted
easily.
the longest,
Quite easily. So I don't know. I just think I mean, I want to watch it. You know, it's something that I watched from a kid. I mean, my first WrestleMania was, I think, 6 or 7 or something. Like that.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, I think that was my first one.
Yeah.
That was my first one.
He used
Ultimate
to
Warrior.
talk some shit,
against
didn't
oh yeah, man, I never understood any of his promos.
When planets collide.
I didn't understand a word the dude was saying. But you know what? He came in with a load of energy, did his thing, and then that was it. But
Energy is probably the right word. The
Yeah,
whole thing seems
very-
to be missing a bit of energy.
yeah, I don't know. It's just weird, and I just think that they've got too much focus on too many different things that they just can't. I think, look, forget all the, Total Divas and all that. Yeah, they're good things, but, you're known for wrestling. Man, make your core product good. Man, go back and, concentrate. And the thing is that, I sit here and I think...
All we really need is Monday Night Raw, a decent SmackDown house show, and then the 4 pay-per-views, the good ones. What were they? They were SummerSlam, Royal Rumble...
Survivor Series
and WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They just focus on getting that right,
Man,
and then
you
for
know
the
what?
rest of it just falls in.
That's the other thing. That's a good point, because every time I switch it on, they're advertising a new event that's happening every couple of weeks.
They tried back in the day. They tried new events, but they canned them if they didn't work. I remember In Your House and King of the Ring, all those ones they tried.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work, fuck it off, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to keep running with these events. But I think maybe kids nowadays. Do you think they think that this is great though? Because if they do, then it's done its job. But
I don't know.
are we just too old to get it right?
I don't know. I don't know what the general younger audience. My son don't watch it. My son's 7. He's still a bit young.
Just a bit young for it.
Yeah, I think he's still a bit young to watch that. But I don't know. I don't know. Please, anyone out there that is still watching the product and you think it's great, put some comments in the comment section. Let us know, because. But you know what? I will be doing a bit of work and finding out what's going on in the product at the moment, and what the setup is like. But every time I switch it on, man, honestly, I can't watch more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the show.
That was when I turned it on. I watched 5 minutes. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, going back to the old. I mean, I think what they did well in the old school was, I think they spent time in character development. I think it wasn't, there wasn't. It didn't have to be instant. I think right now it's got to be instant.
Because of social media,
and the belt just switches. Like 1 minute Roman's got it, next minute someone else has got it. They don't even know how to build a champion up anymore. It just keeps switching from one person to the other. So yeah, but there we go. So that's what's bothering you right now.
Yeah,
I guess WWE.
Yeah.
Right,
Savage. Not Macho Man Randy Savage, unfortunately.
Right, so we're coming to the end of the show. I hope everyone listening in enjoyed the first one. There'll be a lot more to come in the coming weeks. We'll be launching the second episode, third episode, and you'll see the pattern in which we will be releasing these in the coming month or so. But yeah, if there are any sort of comments, please leave them below. Please subscribe to the channel. And spread the word. This is Bosses 100.
Coming in from the UK.
Coming from the UK. And what we do is try to keep it 100 and all the topics that are trending at the moment out there. So yeah, thank you for joining us today. And we'll see you on the next one.